Hello everyone and welcome to this explainer. Today we're talking about a practical, absolutely no-nonsense roadmap to unbelievable wealth. I'm talking about hitting 100 crores in your lifetime. We're going to break down the exact phases of life, the saving habits, and the simple math required to get you there. So lace up your shoes because this wealth marathon starts right now. Now imagine this for a second. You just won a massive lottery. What happens next? Well, most of us would immediately go out, buy a massive bungalow, an expensive luxury car, and just start living the ultimate dream, right? But here's the hard truth, boss. Without financial knowledge, even lottery winners, or folks with fancy engineering degrees earning massive salaries, often end up totally bankrupt. Why? Because earning money and managing money are two completely different skills. Okay, let's dive into this. We're going to cover 5 key areas today. First, the lifestyle trap. Then, Phase 1, accumulation, followed by Phase 2, growth. After that, we'll hit independence and abundance and wrap it all up with the magic math. Let's kick things off with our first section, the lifestyle trap, earn more, spend more. Let's trace a very familiar journey here. You start your first job, living with maybe 4 roommates. A few years later, your salary goes up, so you upgrade to just 1 roommate. Then you get married, so obviously you upgrade to a 1 or 2 BHK apartment. Kids come along, expenses add up, and boom, you take a massive loan to buy your own house. You're constantly upgrading your lifestyle to match your earnings. Then you wake up at age 40, look around, and realize half your life is gone, your only real asset is a brick-and-mortar house, and you have zero liquid wealth while college fees are looming. It's a trap, and the next generation ends up following the exact same pattern. So how do we actually break this cycle and see real financial growth? Fundamentally, the only antidote is delayed gratification. You don't have to sacrifice these things forever, I promise. But if you can just delay these lifestyle upgrades by a mere 3 to 5 years, the magic really starts to happen. Let that appraisal hike go straight into your savings, not into a new EMI. Remember, wealth building is a marathon, not a 100-meter sprint.
That brings us to our next section, Phase 1, accumulation, the golden period.
This phase is the ultimate needs versus wants battle. Think about it. Do you actually need a 50,000 rupee commuter bike to get to the office? Or do you just desire an expensive 2 lakh rupee bullet just to show off to your friends? Don't be that guy who buys the newest iPhone on EMI when a sensible smartphone does the exact same job. Putting your future in debt just to impress society for a week of happiness is literally going to destroy your financial foundation.
So here are the strict, non-negotiable rules for this golden period. Target a massive 50% to 75% savings rate. Live simply, and here's a crucial one that might shock Indian parents. Avoid buying a house right now. People will tell you renting is a waste of money, but they just don't understand the price-to-rent ratio. Paying rent is so much cheaper than paying heavy bank interest in India. A house right now is a heavy drag on your growth. Instead, you should be investing aggressively in index ETFs where you can afford to take maximum risk.
The ultimate goal of this accumulation phase is 5x. You want to save and invest 5 times your annual expenses. If you're saving 50% of your income, you'll hit this faster than you think, maximum 5 years. Once you hit this, you have created a powerful, untouchable nest egg. Mark my words, never, ever touch this money for any reason.
Moving on to our next section, Phase 2, growth, coming back to normal life.
Now, this is going to be your longest phase. You're married now, you have kids, you have more responsibilities, so you can finally ease off that extreme bachelor thriftiness. Target a 20% to 50% savings rate. Now is the time you can buy a home based on your family's actual needs, not desires. But you must save the 20% down payment entirely from this phase's earnings. I repeat, do not touch your Phase 1 nest egg. Fulfill that childhood dream of buying a car, but stick to a reliable Maruti Swift or Honda City. Avoid luxury cars for now to keep insurance and maintenance low. And as a golden rule, avoid any loans with an interest rate higher than 5%.
If you do exactly this, wrap up your expenses with your current earnings and leave your Phase 1 nest egg completely alone, the magic of compounding takes over. At a conservative 12% growth rate, you'll reach a net worth of 25 times your annual expenses in just about 12 years.
Which brings us to the incredibly exciting part, independence and abundance, unlocking pure luxury.
Let's define this amazing milestone. Hitting 25x your annual expenses means you have reached financial independence. For the FIRE community, this means you can practically retire early. But if you choose to keep working, you now have zero need to save. You can finally use all your new earnings for pure luxury. You want that fancy car? Buy it. You want a bigger home? Go for it. Just make sure the expenses come from your current earnings without touching your massive 25x nest egg.
Then, just 6 years later, roughly by age 48 if you started at 25, you hit the ultimate milestone, 50x your annual expenses. You're now in the abundant phase. Your wealth is generating so much money on its own that your focus can shift entirely away from yourself. You can start contributing to society, spreading awareness, and giving back. Having the freedom to do that, that is what we call true luxury.
Finally, let's look at our last section, the magic math, how to calculate crores.
So how do we actually calculate these crores? Meet the rule of 72. This is the ultimate simple formula to train your brain for long-term thinking. You just divide the number 72 by your expected annual return rate, and it gives you the exact number of years it will take for your investment to double. Super simple, right? Let's see how this actually builds up. If you target a 12% return, 72 divided by 12 means your money doubles every 6 years. But if you can push for a 15% return, it doubles in just 5 years. Now, you might be wondering, is 15% even realistically possible? Well, the Indian stock market index has historically given an average return of around 16% over the last 40 years. Factor in dividends, and it's practically 17 to 18%. So a 15% return is absolutely not an impossible dream.
Now, let's look at how this mathematically blows your mind. If your money is doubling every 5 years, let's say you start in year 0 with just 1 lakh rupees. In 25 years, it doubles 5 times to 32 lakhs. That's pretty good, but keep waiting. By year 50, that single lakh rupee has doubled 10 times. It has grown 1,000 times over into 10 crores. If you can grasp the time value of money on this scale, Christopher Nolan himself would appreciate your concept of time.
And let's scale it up for the grand finale. If 1 lakh becomes 10 crores in 50 years, then saving and investing just 10 lakhs by the time you're 35 years old mathematically turns into 100 crores by the time you hit 85. 100 crores is not some impossible, unachievable number in the sky. With the 8th wonder of the world, the power of compounding, it's a totally achievable target in our lifetime.
So, the most crucial question I have for you is this: are you tracking your growth? You need to pick your target return rate based on your risk profile, calculate your doubling time, and then project your growth for the next 50 years. Check it every single year. You now have the roadmap, you understand the phases of delayed gratification, and you've seen the magic math. The only question left is, are you ready to start running your wealth marathon? Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.